Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here for the NBA main slate here on Tuesday. We got a solid 6-game slate. Real quick, let's see what we're doing last night. I've really been sticking to GPPs here lately, but I went with a really risky lineup. Um, Rozier and Brown are pretty chalky. JaMychal Green, that I didn't really want to play him. I honestly wanted to play Gordon Hayward, but couldn't fit him. And then Tony Parker, I just played the narrative, took the risk, why not? I faded Harden to stack the late game with Anthony Davis, Montrez, Tobias, and Randall. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I mean, James Harden did really good. I'm trying to think what. D'Angelo Russell, who I really liked. I just ended up last minute kind of pivoted my lineup around. So I'm kind of disappointed about that. I did like D'Angelo Russell just because his price is too cheap. Then once Napier got ruled out, he's pretty much secured minutes. So I want the more risky lineup, so we'll see how it ends up doing. All right, let's look into the slate for Tuesday night. So, like I said, we got a pretty solid 6-game slate here for Tuesday. Let's look into it. So starting at the top here at Westbrook here at 11-6. Obviously a dream matchup here against Atlanta. The concern is, Atlanta's been very bad, so the concern is there's a blowout risk, but if the Hawks keep it close, Westbrook, Paul George, I think both those guys have huge games. And then Steph, you got Golden State at Denver. Should be a pretty good, game to watch. Also should be a pretty solid fantasy game. Golden State, the concern always with targeting them is just the blowouts. But, it's at Denver. This one should be competitive. It should be close. So I think you could target a couple guys here, on the Warriors. Steph at 9.9, again. Obviously he has huge upside anytime he takes the court. Me personally, I'm probably going to look elsewhere. I know he has a pretty solid matchup against Jamal Murray. But as of right now, I'm kind of liking the Bulls-Lakers game stack right now. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards right now for GPPs. So that's kind of what I'm liking personally. But again, you can't go wrong with Steph. Ben Simmons at 9.4. I think he's okay. Obviously, he's been playing some pretty solid basketball here of late, but that was like two cupcake matchups here with the Hawks and the Knicks. Matchup with the Timberwolves, not the best, not the worst. I think he's okay. Devin Booker, said he's going to be back with no minutes limit. Anytime he takes score, honestly, he has huge upside as well. Matchup are not the best. Oladipo, pretty solid defender, but the price tag is what makes him appealing. Then Jamal Murray. This guy seems to step up in big games. It's a pretty big game here against the Warriors. 7.2K. Again, I think GPPs, he's definitely viable. Obviously, he has shown that huge ceiling. So I think he is viable at 7.2. Then you got two. I really like these the Bulls here with Chris Dunn, Levine, and you get down to the Lakers as well. So I'll start with Chris Dunn and Levine. In a close game, should play 30+ minutes. Pretty solid matchup here against the Lakers. They don't play a whole lot of defense. And the Bulls are going to keep it close. It's going to be because of big games from Chris Dunn as well as Levine. So I do like both these guys a lot here at 6.9 and 6.8K respectively. And then if you just go below them, Ingram, Lonzo Ball. So it's kind of the same situation with the Cavs and the Lakers game stack a couple days ago. I actually did make one lineup with that. Did really well. Didn't end up using that for my main, but I really do like this game stack again here. So Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, Kuzma, Josh Hart, all four of these guys definitely in play here. These guys are going to play most of the ball game in a close game. So Lonzo, Ingram, I do like a lot. Trae Young is obviously, again, this guy's going to shoot the ball a ton when he's out there. Jeremy Lin currently is questionable. If he misses, then I would have a lot of interest in Trae Young here at 6.2K. He's basically playing right around 30 minutes every single night. So I think Trae Young is a pretty solid play here at 6.2. Jeff Teague kind of got injured in that last game, only to play 22 minutes. I said he's going to be okay, so 6.1K, I think he would be in play if Derrick Rose is out. If Derrick Rose plays, I'm probably going to stay away from the situation. Then you got Schroeder, I guess you could look to in a little revenge game narrative. The minutes kind of been up and down for him. But again, this is a revenge game, cupcake matchup. Maybe if this is a blowout, he gets a little extra run. So I think that is viable. And then Josh Hart here, 5.2K, kind of been up and down. He has flash some upside, but he also does have a kind of low floor. So I think he's GPP viable. Collison, if he misses, you could look to Tyreek Evans, Corey Joseph. Both those guys would be pretty solid value plays if Collison does miss. And then Beasley, this guy's playing most of the game. Only playable, though, if Gary Harris is out. If Gary Harris is back, I'm just staying away from Beasley. But if Gary Harris is out once again, then we can look to value guys like Torrey Craig, Malik Beasley. Malik Beasley would be the chalk, or the chalkier, and Monte Morris would be the pivot here in GPPs. So that's kind of my thoughts with those value guys. Corey Joseph, actually, he's currently listed as questionable. So if both those guys miss, it'd be. I really like Tyreek Evans. Where's Tyreek? Tyreek Evans here at 3.8K. Would probably play 25 or so minutes in a good matchup against Phoenix. So if both those guys do miss, I like Tyreek. And then you could look to, where's Indiana here? You could look to Aaron Holiday if both those guys are out. So we're going to have to kind of wait for news there. Let's move on to shooting guard. And you got the Jimmy Butler revenge game. We know he does not like Minnesota. So I think Jimmy Butler, you could play that narrative for sure here at 7.6K. Price is up a bit, but again, I know he's not a fan of Minnesota, so I think Jimmy Butler is going to be pretty vengeful tonight, and I think he's a solid play at 7.6K. Klay Thompson, so I kind of talked about him in my last video, but I don't like paying a premium for guys. He was priced up to 7.2K. I kind of had an off night, but priced back down to 6.6K where he is playable. Obviously, he's going to shoot the ball a ton when he's out there. So I think Klay Thompson back in play. I wouldn't say he's the best play, but I wouldn't say he's the worst play in the world. Let's see. So Kelly Oubre, Josh Jackson. With Devin Booker back now, these guys are kind of unplayable. I mean, Kelly Oubre has been playing really good of late here. So maybe he's earned some extra run. But again, this is kind of paying the premium here. 5.2K is priced up. He obviously has shown that huge upside, but he's not going to have the same type of situation here with Devin Booker back. Let's see. So Bembry would probably run the backup point here if Jeremy Lin does miss. So I would definitely have considered Bembry if Jeremy Lin misses. I think he'd be a pretty solid play there at 4.5K. Craig, I guess. You could look to if Gary Harris is out, but I'll probably go elsewhere. Okay, let's move on to the small forward position. And Giannis, I think he's going to go pretty low owned here at 11.2K. A match not the best here against Miami, but anytime you get a low owned Giannis is pretty solid. So I think for GPPs, you can play that ownership aspect of it. And then KD, again, should be a close game. So I think you could target a couple of these Warriors. Paul George, if the game stays close, then could have a massive game. And then Kuzma. I really like this game stack for GPPs. The load up on the Lakers. Kuzma, Ingram, Lonzo, probably my three favorites, and then kind of run it back with Dunn, Levine, and maybe possibly like Bobby Portis, Wendell Carter Jr. I do like that game stack, and again, everyone is affordable, so that's why that game is very stackable. Let's see, Thad Young, I guess, if Miles Turner does miss, so we're going to have to kind of wait for news there. Will Barton, they're just kind of easing him back right now. I really don't expect him, maybe unless he starts, that would be the only time I would have interest in Will Barton, but I think they're going to kind of take it slow with him. So unless he starts, I think I'll pass. And then Jabari Parker here, actually a pretty interesting value play. So he got back into the rotation here against Utah, played 19 minutes, put up 23 fantasy points. Obviously, we just need minutes with Jabari. If he gets minutes, he's going to produce. Not the best defender. That's the reason kind of why he hasn't been getting playing time. But if he's going to play, 15 to 20 minutes, I think he's a pretty solid. I think you could take a shot there at 3.5K. Okay, let's move on to power forward position and Sabonis. I've been riding the hot train here with no Miles Turner. He's priced all the way up now to 7.9K, where if Miles Turner misses, I think you could go right back to the Sabonis well. Ayton, pretty good on the offensive end, not the best defender. The concern is Ayton Again, pretty aggressive center, so maybe Sabonis could get in foul trouble. We have seen that a couple times with Sabonis. John Collins, if you guys watch my videos for a while, you know I like playing him, but this is not really the matchup. The price tag is appealing, where that's what would make him in play for me. But personally, I think I'm going to look elsewhere. Paul George, pretty solid defender, or Jeremy Grant, but I just not. The reason he's in play is because of the price. So Draymond here at 6.3K, I think you could buy low on him. Just been shooting the ball terribly. Not really shooting the ball at all. Basically just getting his normal assists, blocks, rebounds. So I think you could buy low in a game that should stay close on Draymond. I think that would be a pretty solid idea. And then Wendell Carter Jr. here, the minutes have been up and down for him a lot here. 23, 29, 17, 30. If we could only project him to play 30 minutes every night, I would like him a lot at 5.3K. So there's some risk, but I think that you could take a shot in GPPs. Dedmon, currently listed as doubtful, so again, that's going to open up a few more minutes for John Collins, and then as well as value play Alex Len. I think it would be pretty solid value play. Bobby Portis, I love playing high usage guys off the bench. He kind of had an elbow issue, or I think he did miss one game, but that said, he's going to be back here at 4.5K. I like Bobby Portis a lot if he's not going to be limited. And Rashawn Holmes, again, I've been playing this guy a lot recently. I just love these high usage guys off the bench. The price is up a little bit to 4.4K, but I still think it is doable. O'Quinn, I guess you could look to if Miles Turner's out, but he's really been up and down. Too inconsistent for my liking. Center position, Embiid, great matchup here against Karl Anthony Towns. The price is up though to 10.5K, or I think he's okay. Towns and Embiid, it kind of does worry me playing either of these guys. Obviously, they're great on the offensive end, but again, I don't really like targeting opposing centers, I guess, against really aggressive centers. And Embiid, obviously, he's really aggressive. Same thing with Cat. Both these guys are going to be really aggressive on the offensive end, so the foul trouble concern does worry me with both those guys. Jokic, so centers have been destroying Golden State here, and Jokic just been on an absolute tear at 10.3K. I see no reason why he can't go back to the well here. In a game that should stay close, I like Jokic a lot there at 10.3. Ayton, so I think Ayton's going to go really low owned, but I would maybe take a shot on him if Miles Turner misses. Only if Miles Turner, pretty solid defender. Sabonis, not the best defender. So I think you could take a shot on Ayton if Miles Turner does miss. Steven Adams, you never really get excited about playing him. But 7K, if the game stays close, I think he could be okay. But I'm probably going to go elsewhere. Whiteside, this guy is just so inconsistent. The minutes are too inconsistent. Miami, I just stay away from Miami now. It's literally like, with everyone healthy, Eric Spoelstra, you just never know what's going to go on in that rotation. So I just completely stay away from Miami. Let's see. So Alex Len here at 4.1K. If Dedmon does miss, probably expect him to pick up a start. I would project him to probably play right around 25 minutes. I know the matchup not the best. I do respect the defense of Steven Adams, but at 4K, it's just the 4.1K, it's just the salary that puts him in play. So I do like him a lot if Dwayne Dedmon does miss. And yeah, I think that's about it. So, so my thoughts are right now for GPPs, I do like this Chicago and the Lakers game stack a lot. And then Golden State Denver game that should stay close. But this game, the problem is not really stackable. A lot of expensive guys, but you could play a couple pieces there. I do like that game a lot as well. Oklahoma City, Atlanta. Trae Young if Lynn misses, Bembry if Lynn misses, and then probably Westbrook and Paul George for me. Obviously there is some blowout risk, but the game stays close. I think Westbrook and Paul George should have pretty solid games. Miami and Milwaukee, kind of crossing it out. Obviously Miami, it's not really targeting them with Eric Spoelstra's inconsistent rotations. Milwaukee, I think you could take a shot in Giannis, low owned in GPPs. Minnesota and Philly. Another game that is definitely stackable, but again, guys kind of a little more expensive in that game. Embiid, Towns, I think are both solid, but again, my worry is the foul trouble, and then the Jimmy Butler revenge. I think he's going to be pretty vengeful. The price is up a bit, but I still think it's doable. And then Phoenix, Indiana. You could take a shot on Devin Booker. He has huge upside any single time he takes the court. But those value Phoenix guys, I'll probably look elsewhere, like Oubre, Josh Jackson, now that Devin Booker's back. And then on the Indiana side, if Miles Turner plays, I'll probably stay away from the bigs. If Miles Turner misses, then I would like Sabonis a lot. And then if Miles Turner's out, you could play Ayton. And then obviously we're going to wait for news with Collison and Corey Joseph. If one of those guys are out, you can look to the other. If both are out, I think Tyreek would be a pretty solid value play, as well as maybe take a shot at Aaron Holiday and GPP. So that's kind of my thoughts with the slate. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you have been enjoying the content, please like this video. All the likes really helps me out. Tries to get as much exposure to this channel as possible. So I would really appreciate if you guys have been enjoying the content. Just please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Closing in on 200 subscribers. I know it's not a lot, but it's kind of a lot for me right now. So 200 subscribers are closing in, and yeah, I will be back for another video on Wednesday for the main slate. So I'll see you guys then.